When people hear that in order to lose weight and keep it off forever, without counting calories, without cutting down calories, without restricting portions, you have to adopt a diet that is low in calorie density, which means excluding all the animal products, whole and processed, and all the processed plant-based foods, like floury foods, sugary foods, oily foods, not to mention mock meats and mock cheeses, and all the highly refined plant-based products. They often ask, but what's left to eat, for God's sake? Air, sunlight, grass? In this video, we will shed some light, for sure. I will give you pictures included to see if grass is the reason I've lost weight and keep it off. Hello, I am Janina Vlad, the founder of leanoncarbs.com. I'm here to help you adopt sustainably this high-carb, low-fat, whole food, plant-based, vegan diet to get lean, to get skinny, but healthy skinny, to have a low healthy BMI for the rest of your life. And of course, to reverse your chronic conditions and to add years to your life, because this diet promotes, yes, longevity, healthy longevity, because it reverses the chronic conditions and lower the mortality risks. I've lost 50 pounds by eating the foods I'm about to share with you in this video. And for the past 3 years, I managed to keep this weight off. This being for the first time in my life when I succeed, yes, to maintain my weight loss results. And when I succeed to manage my body weight without problem, without appetite suppressants, without coffee, without smoking, without crazy exercise, without nothing special, only by eating. And eating to reach satiety, eating a lot, eating as much as I care for. And in this video, I will share with you what are those foods, how I eat them, raw, cooked, when I eat them, in the morning, in the night, as a snack, and how much I eat of them. Fruits, just a few pieces because they have a high fructose content. We will talk about those juicy stuff. Now, let's jump into the action foods because they are not only grass. Actually, let's get rid of that grass. And what are those foods? They are mainly 5 food groups, but in total they are actually 10, 11. We will see in a moment. So the main ones, the ones that bring the majority of the bulk and the majority of the calories are fruits, vegetables, starchy vegetables, whole grains and legumes. The rest are mushrooms, nuts, seeds, herbs, spices, and seaweed. Now let's start with the fruits. Let's see how many fruits are in this group. How great is the variety. So until now, you've seen that we don't eat only grass. We actually eat a lot of juicy sweetness and deliciousness with a variety of flavors and aromas. Oh my God, natural aromas, not artificial flavors. Now let's see some example of those fruits. Bananas, apples, oranges, papaya, watermelon, grapes, peaches, apricots, strawberries, raspberries, plums, figs, cherries, dates, pears, noni, kaki, starfruit, pineapple, guanabana, jackfruit, chirimoya, durian, eggfruit, mamey, sapote, nisperos, kiwi, mango, pistalis, pomegranate, grapefruit, mandarin, cantaloupe, acai berries, blueberries, blackberries, elderberries, cranberries, mulberries, goji berries, avocados, guava, passion fruit, lychee, mangostan, rambutan, pitaya, cactus fruit or prickly pear, quince. And this is not a complete list. Of course, there are many more than that, but with 40 fruits, I believe it's a pretty good variety. Of course, you don't have to eat this much and this many fruits, but I'm here to prove that you don't have to eat only grass. So you have variety. And please add to this list in the comments section below to have more examples of fruits. Let's move on at the second food group, which is vegetables. Let's see some examples. Tomatoes, red bell pepper, actually all sweet peppers, kale, onion, garlic, leek, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, radishes, rucola, lettuce, red and Swiss chard, zucchini, cucumber, fennel, chili pepper, spinach, eggplants, celery, okra, parsnip, green peas, kohlrabi, artichoke, asparagus, chicory, bok choy, edamame, Brussels sprouts, chayote, microgreens, snow peas, collard greens, purple cabbage, savory cabbage, Chinese cabbage, celeriac, watercress, daikon radishes, mustard greens, rhubarb, radicchio, horseradish, parsley root. And again, this is not a complete list of vegetables. Over 40, maybe there are even 50. So huge variety. Of course, vegetables are not the main part of one dish, but they add the bulk and the different textures in our meals. But we will touch on that a little bit later in this video. Third food group, which is starchy vegetables. Let's see which are those vegetables with the higher content of starches. That means they give us more energy. Prolonged energy, not only all those goodies that are found in vegetables. Carrots, turnips, red beet, potatoes, sweet potatoes, yuca, yam, pumpkin, squashes, water chestnut, plantains. These foods bring us not only the bulk, the fiber plus the water, but also a higher content of carbohydrates, higher content of starches than the non-starchy vegetables that bring more water, fiber, and other nutrition, but with a less content of glucose, other sugars, and this starch, these complex carbohydrates. Which is great because when you eat them together with the non-starchy vegetables, you will have bulk and energy. So you don't have bulk with only 200 calories. That is starvation. You have bulk and you have also 800 calories. And that means a lot of hours without hunger, without snacking, without craving junk and fatty foods and animal products without craving. And that means heaven on earth. A life without cravings? Yay, sign me up. And I live this life without cravings. Fourth food group, whole grains. They are amazing for weight loss and for health. And they bring diversity of textures and tastes on our plates. They are amazing. I love grains. Let's see some examples. Wheat, oat, millet, barley, rye, amaranth, buckwheat, corn, sorghum, quinoa, teff, and of course, rice. For some of these categories, there are more varieties. For example, taking wheat, you have einkorn, durum, kamut or khorasan, spelt, emmer. And for rice, there are plenty of different colors and textures and flavors of rice, like brown rice, red rice, black rice, basmati rice, jasmine rice, wild rice, and many more. So find the one you like. And until now, you have over 300 different foods. 300 foods? Do you have right now on your standard American diet or standard European diet or standard Australian diet? 300 different possibilities of foods? That doesn't count if you have bread and pasta. It's actually the same. It's different way to cook the flour. That doesn't count like two different foods. Do you know what I mean? Okay, let's move to the fifth group, which is legumes. They are also called pulses, which are the dry seeds of the legume plant. We have them already in our non-starchy vegetable group. When we had the snow pea, for example, or the green beans, or the green pea, those are not the dry seeds. Those are the young seeds, unformed, uncompletely formed. And of course, they have more water, being fresh, being green. In this group, we have the dry seeds. So let's see some examples. Lentils, beans, chickpeas, soybeans, peas, lupins, and peanut. And peanuts are the exception of this group because they don't have a high content of starches. They have over 70% from fats. But they are still legumes, botanically speaking. But their usage and their nutritional composition aligns more with nuts and seeds. And you can eat them, of course, but you have to restrict the intake of nuts and seeds. We will touch on that a little bit later. The rest of the legumes we have in this list come in different shapes, forms, and colors for almost every each of those categories. So you have a lot of beans, come on. Find the one you love. A lot of lentils, a lot of different shapes and colors of lentils. Even chickpeas comes in different forms and colors. Yes, and come on. Grass. The sixth food group, mushrooms. Yes, we have mushrooms that are not plants, but are not animals either. So are fungi. And the mushrooms are actually the fruit of this mycelium. How do you pronounce that? Mycelium. Let's see some examples of mushrooms. Champignon or button mushrooms or white mushrooms. Cremini or brown mushrooms or baby portobello. Portobello, which is the baby portobello, but an adult portobello. Shiitake, oyster mushrooms, porcini or boletus, morel, chanterelle mushrooms, black trumpet, enoki mushrooms, maitake mushrooms. But this diet is so boring with all those mushrooms. Number 7 food group is nuts and seeds. There are actually 2 food groups in one, but let's move on. It's the only food group we have to restrict because it's not high in carb, it's high in fat. And being high in fat means it's a higher in calorie density per bite, per gram, per portion. So you can easily overeat on calories. You will have a surplus of calories if you eat to reach satiety from this food group. When I was on a standard diet and I was indulging in a lot of nuts and seeds, I didn't eat only 10 to 30 grams as I recommend now, and many plant-based doctors recommend, of nuts and seeds. I was eating bags of sunflower seeds with salt. Bags like 200 grams. I was eating 200 grams of cashews. So that is insane. You will have an overload of calories from those nuts and seeds. So that's why you have to keep an eye on them. You have to count your calories at the beginning to make sure your fat content is not higher than 15%. We will touch on that as well a little bit later. Let's see some examples of nuts and seeds. Flax seeds, chia seeds, hemp seeds, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds, white and black, poppy seeds, pine nuts, they're actually seeds, walnuts, Brazil nuts, pecans, almonds, cashews, hazelnuts, macadamia, pistachios, acorns. The nuts and the seeds are a nice addition to our diet. So for a salsa, for a drizzling, for your salads, they are great. Keep an eye on them, like I said. They are also great as a more dense source of essential fatty acids, those omegas, the polyunsaturated fats. But all the parts of the plants, from the root to the fruit, have polyunsaturated fats. So you have omega-3 in your fruits, in your vegetables, in whole grains and legumes, not only in the nuts and seeds. Moving on to group number 8, which is seaweed. Let's see some examples of these nice marine salads, vegetables. Alga nori or nori sheets, wakame, dulce, arame, kombu, kelp, hijiki, agar-agar, sea grape, Irish moss, muzuku. Muzuku? Muzuku. I love seaweed. They are great not only for that marine fishy flavor and that chewy texture, but also for the trace minerals. Yes, they bring iodine. You don't have to take iodine supplements or to eat, to add table salt that was enriched, so supplemented with iodine. Just eat your seaweed. It's a whole food, actually brings not only iodine, but also other minerals and vitamins and antioxidants. Seaweed have also high content of sodium, which is nice to increase this saltiness, this nice flavor we are all looking for in our savory dishes. So on your salads, on your side dishes, in your soups, if you cook soups, yes, seaweed is a nice, not a replacement, but will make you add less table salt, which is great. At the end of the day, less table salt added will increase your health, will decrease your chronic conditions. The last food group at number 9 is herbs and spices. Again, 2 food groups in one. At herbs, we have actually, there are non-starchy vegetables, aromatic ones with a lot of flavor, and we don't use them in bulk, in large amounts, only to give flavor in small amounts. We use them fresh, like the leaves or the seeds, fresh, or dry, the dry leaves or the dry seeds. Let's see some examples. Oregano, thyme, rosemary, lavender, parsley, coriander or cilantro, lovage, dill, fennel, basil, mint, sage, tarragon, bay leaf, lemongrass, and marjoram. Now let's see some spices. Cinnamon, cloves, turmeric, ginger, black pepper, white pepper, pink pepper, actually pepper, cumin, caraway, cardamom, paprika, mustard seeds, anise, dried onion, dried garlic, nutmeg, cayenne pepper, saffron, fenugreek, and sumac. These are great if you love to cook because they increase the flavor of your dishes. But not only that, they increase the nutritional value of the dishes because they have a lot of nutrition as well. Okay, now you know what to eat. That was part of the food the high-carb, low-fat, whole food, plant-based vegan can eat. Do you think that's only grass? Do you think that's not enough? Actually, you will complain right now that it's too much variety and you cannot maintain this diet because it's required so many items to buy. I already filmed a video with the foods that helped me lose weight and warrant the 400 in this list. Please go to watch that video. You don't need variety. You don't need that much variety. This video is only to show you how much variety you can have. To never complain you don't have food. To never complain you lack variety and you get bored with your high-carb, plant-based dishes. Let's move to the next point of our discussion. How to eat these foods, raw or cooked, and how to cook them, and how to combine them. This is simple. Whatever you can eat raw and cooked, like fresh, being like that ripe, you eat it like that. And this applies for the majority of the fruits, for the majority of vegetables as well. But starchy vegetables, because they have starch, and yes, we have enzymes to digest starches. However, it's better digested when it's cooked. And some of those plants that have a high content of starches have also some toxins we have to remove by cooking, by a thermic effect. So cook your starches. So of course, cook your grains as well. And the legumes, not to mention legumes. And for the whole grains and the pulses, you soak them first for half a day, 24 hours, 48 hours in a case of some beans, to add in their digestibility, to help you, actually to help them to release some of the toxins. Be smart about that. Some non-starchy vegetables can be cooked as well to increase the same thing, the digestibility, and to decrease the bloating, the gases and the cramps and other issues you might have after ingesting those, like the crucifers, especially at the beginning. But I already filmed a video with the transition foods and how to cook them to avoid and to minimize their bad effects. Okay, how to combine these foods? Can you eat fruits with pulses, bananas with lentils, or with chickpeas, with your hummuses? I advise you against, especially at the beginning. Please keep them separately. You can eat fruits with vegetables. You can eat vegetables with starchy vegetables. You can even eat fruits with grains, like with that oatmeal, with your rice, for example, and with millet. You can eat starchy vegetables with non-starchy vegetables, like with potatoes, non-starchy vegetables with grains, and grains, you can eat them with your legumes. You can eat non-starchy vegetables with the legumes, but not cruciferous with legumes, please, especially at the beginning, not at the beginning. So broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, kale, cabbage with the pulses, with the legumes. You will have, more gases, more bloating. And you can add herbs and spices at every one of these food groups. You can add seaweed with every one of these food groups. You can have mushrooms with every one of these food groups, with the legumes as well. I have a stew, yes, with lentils. So I have the beans, the legumes. With starchy vegetables, I have the potatoes, sweet potatoes, and carrots. With some vegetables like onion and others, leek and garlic. We have as well spices. We have the mushrooms. I can have even seaweed and herbs. And what? Yeah, everything. It's one stew. I believe in this stew, I don't have fruits. Other than that, you experiment and see. You can make combination and you take notes. And you will see how they digest and how they react hours after ingesting them. The next step in our discussion is when to eat these food groups. Fruits in the morning. Yes, fruits in the morning, because they have a lot of simple sugars. They actually have the highest content of simple sugars. That means our best fuel and the easiest to digest fuel. So we have a quick burst of energy, the one that we need in the morning. You don't have to take your quick energy from the coffee. No, from food. From food that digest fast. They don't digest that fast as simple sugar that is processed, like table sugar, like crystallized sugar and fructose and corn syrup and other isolated molecules of simple sugars. No, in fruits, you have multiple molecules. You have thousands of compounds. You have fiber, and you have a lot of other phytochemicals that will help an easier release of those sugars, of that energy. You won't have problems with the glucose in the blood like you will have when eating table sugar. And fruits are your best friend not only for that, but also for the water content. In the morning, after a long night of not drinking water because you, of course, sleep by night, you bring this hydration in your body. And this population is dehydrated. The majority of people don't drink enough water. So this natural occurring water in fruits is the best, because it's not like the water in the vegetables that is coming with a fewer calories, not enough energy. This water in fruits comes as well with the energy, with the actual calories. So that's perfect. For the lunch, you can continue with fruits and oatmeal. Oatmeal is not a whole grain, it's processed, but it's still very good. When you soak it in water, you will decrease the concentration of the calories per weight. So you will have a low calorie density food, similar to the whole grain, and you will have a tastier, because I eat the whole grain of the oat. But in more savory dishes is like rice, cooked like rice in water. People can cook it in water with a little bit of salt, and a side dish with steamed vegetables or a salad or a stew with beans. But for oatmeal, yeah, it's better to have the oat flakes. Flakes? Yes, flakes. soaked in water, and after that, the plant milk and the fruits like bananas and berries and your spices over there. A plant-based yogurt, soy milk, soy yogurt are my favorite, but there are many, and find one without added sugar in it and with a low content of fat, because yes, coconut yogurt is tasty but has more fats than we need. And for the dinner, you have your starchy vegetables with your non-starchy vegetables. So all those vegetables that you can eat raw, eat them raw. The ones that you steamed, you steam. The one that you can boil, you boil. You have your potatoes that you bake them or you boil them, or you mashed potatoes, so boil them, and after that you make that creamy dish and baked on a sheet or baked in water, like in a tray with some water. You find dishes that are low fat, oil free, of these high carb plans. The internet is full. There are thousands of recipes. Find inspiration out there. So we had fruits in the morning, fruits and oatmeal at the lunch, and starchy vegetables, whole grains or legumes at night, or all together, like I said, in my stew, and with some cooked rice aside. And in between, what about snacking? Look, snacking is not a problem, but you won't feel the need to snack when you eat enough calories, and we will come to that point in a second. You don't feel like snacking, because snacking means hunger. You crave something, and if you think about food, means you didn't eat enough or not nutritionally enough. So that's why you constantly think about food, and 2 hours after eating or 1 hour after eating, you feel the need to snack on something. If you feel the need to snack on something, please eat the full meal. Don't be afraid of the calories. Eat the full meal, and that will give you satiety and energy for the next 3-4 hours. No need for snacking. And when you feel hungry again, eat again as much as you care for. A snack means you eat only an apple or 2 apples. When you eat only 1 apple, 1 banana, that's not enough food. You will end up craving and eating junk food. So please eat as much as you care for. And this is available also for not having enough fruits on your meals. Please start tracking your calories, especially for the first weeks, to make sure you eat enough food, at least 700, 800 calories per meal from these foods. Because when you don't eat enough fruits, especially fruits, you will crave for these man-made fruits, for the brownies and the cakes, for the cookies, ice cream, candies, gummy bear. You will crave the sugar. When you don't give your body the simple sugar, which is our favorite source of fuel, your brain will put you in the direction of more sugar. More sugar, that artificial sugar that comes more concentrated, without the water, without the fiber, because you are in a deficit. When you are in a deficit, your brain needs more calories for the next meal because you have a debt. Do you know what I mean? That's why you crave a dense in calories per gram, per bite food. And when you eat that table sugar food, is not only table sugar, that comes with fats as well, with flour, with animal ingredients, animal nutrition. So it's highly detrimental for your health and for your waistline because you didn't eat enough bananas. This fear of fruits must end. Please educate yourself more. And I created a video about this dietary beliefs we as society hold, that keeps us blocked in this box, overweight and sick, and hold us back in life. And without addressing first those limiting beliefs, you won't ever adopt this lifestyle because you will self-sabotage yourself. You won't eat enough bananas, you won't eat enough potatoes, you will skip meals, you will believe you eat too much calories. In the next video, we'll talk again, and I already touched on that subject of calorie density in foods, but I will show some differences and volumetrics, and we will touch on that, how these calories are not equal. So eating and having 2,500 calories from these foods I'm presenting over here is not the same like eating 2,500 calories from animal products and processed plants, because you have here the advantage of fiber. But about that in the next video. The last point of this video is how much of these foods should we eat? At least, like I said, 700, 800 calories per meal, and eat as many meals as you feel. But if you sleep at night and you have early nights, you won't be hungry at 7. You will have your dinner at 6, 7 o'clock, and that will be the last meal. And you won't have physically time to eat more than 4 times per day. So yes, have 4 meals. Have 5 meals if you are up for more hours, and of course you work more and you have more appetite. I eat mainly 3 meals a day, sometimes 4, sometimes 2, but this is occasionally. The majority of my days, I have 3 meals. When I was overweight in the process of losing weight, most of my days were with 5 meals and 4, and sometimes 5 meals. So, no snacking, eat as much as you care for. And you will have 700 calories, like I said, 800 calories. If you are bigger, if you are heavier, you have more pounds of body weight to feed. You have more appetite. So you will have over 1,000 calories. So don't stop at 800 because I said so. No, I eat right now as a lean woman 800, 900, sometimes 1,000 calories per meal. But for a bigger person, bigger meals, more calories. From these foods, you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry because on your current diet, please track your calories and see how many calories are you ingesting in your current standard diet. You will be amazed to find out that you are over 5,000 calories. If you're obese, 7,000 calories. And when you eat like this, you have this diet, and you are, of course, a big person, you eat 4 meals, every one of the meal, 1,000 calories, 1,200 calories, you will have how much? 4,800 calories, and you are coming after 7,000 calories a day. So all that surplus of 2,000 and something, so 2,500 calories of surplus of calories is removed, and you will lose weight. You don't have to go in deficit. Don't have to starve your cells. That is not a weight loss approach. That is a weight gain strategy because you will decrease your metabolic rate. You will lose muscle. You won't lose the majority of the weight, body weight you lose when you are in calorie deficit is not from fat storage. Come on. It's not. It's from your muscle. And you cannot maintain a calorie deficit forever, so you will start craving and you will binge. And when you binge, you eat more calories than you ate before going in deficit. And now you have the benefit of a slowed metabolism, so you'll put on weight rapidly, and you don't put on weight muscle. For muscle, you have to do a lot of work in the gym. No, you will put and you will store fat. So please don't go in deficit. And also, how much fruits should we eat? Because fruits have sugars, and we know that sugars are bad. Sugars are bad only if they are man-made. The refined ones, the simple molecules that were isolated from the context, from the whole. Yes, when you eat whole, you don't have to worry about the sugar content. You have to seek for the sugar content. You have to pursue for more sugar content. Don't limit your fruits. When you limit your fruits, you will end up eating ice cream. It's simple as that. When you limit your fruits, you will go ex-vegan. When you limit your fruits, you will have the carrot cake. You will crave. That's not a good life. Why would you want to live for the rest of your life craving when I'm promoting over here a diet that gives you freedom of cravings and binges? What about fructose? Fructose in fruits. People fear eating too many fruits because they have a high content of fructose. Fear no more. You don't equal a fruit, that it's a sum, a synergy of thousands of molecules with fructose syrup or crystallized fructose, which is only one molecule isolated from the whole, is highly refined. Do you understand? You cannot compare one to the other. And the studies that put this fear in us were created and were studying the fructose, this isolated ingredient. They didn't study bananas and the effect of bananas on the liver. So bananas, papayas, apples, peaches, cherries, dates, figs, mangoes, they don't give you a fatty liver, non-alcoholic fatty liver. Please fear no more. Do more research. Read some books. Get on board, because fruits are your best friend if you want to get healthy, get lean, and stay lean for the rest of your life. Please give me a like because I deserve it, and this message for sure deserves it as well. Subscribe to my channel for more, activate the notification bell, and share this video. And actually, after binge on watching on all my content, please share those videos as well with the people around you. People, our society needs to hear the truth about nutrition. And lastly, if you wonder if exercise played a role in my results, in me getting lean, skinny, fit, and healthy, please go to watch this video over here.